Well, hi everybody, it's Doug. It is that time to announce the 100 subscriber giveaway. First of all, many thanks to every one of you out there. Thanks to all of my 100 subscribers, and for those of you that came along early and stayed, those of you that just joined, welcome and thank you very much. Here we are. I'm going to be giving you the specifics of the giveaway today, and I'm actually going to make my own demonstration of the entry later in this video. And along with that, I'll be doing something a little unconventional for pickers. I'll actually be talking directly to the camera. So let's do that next. First of all, 100 sub giveaway. These are the prizes. There's going to be one prize going out. This is open to everyone internationally. That may lead to a divorce if somebody way overseas ends up winning and I have to give up my entire mortgage to mail it, but I recognize that's a possibility. So I've got so many overseas viewers that I genuinely want to make sure everybody has a chance on this one. In line for the prizes. So first of all, the first one's going to be, and this is all one prize going to one winner. This is going to be Master Lock 570. You've seen me pick this one with a key. Next one is the ML410. I tried to, well, all these have keys, of course, but I tried to pick sort of middle level locks, almost what you'd call high orange, mid green locks along the way, because I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to value and learn from these locks. Didn't want to go too basic or too advanced. We also have the Brady. You've seen me pick all of these, of course. This last one you haven't, and I'll explain in a moment. But the Brady, also, this was among that group that I got and sold off most of, but I did retain some of them. And this is a purple one, which has the more aggressive bitting. Notice the gatekeepers in front. So, beautiful locks. And this one, a reminder for those of you, unlike most of the other LOTO locks out there, this one is guttable. So this is 7140. And then finally, and that's made by Abus, by the way. Finally, the Abus 64 Ti 50. Now you've seen me pick the 80 Ti, the Titanium 80 Ti 50. But this one is considered a belt below the 80. It's got less complex innards, but I've already had a discussion, I believe it was Cherokee, who was the one that chimed in and said this one is actually harder to pick than the 80. And indeed it is. I mean, it's less complex inside, but I think whoever made this was having a really good day and very precise insides, so that there's very little looseness in the tolerances. This one, very hard to pick. Yes, I can pick it, but I would waste a lot of your time on video, so I haven't picked it. So basically, these are the collective prize for the 100 sub giveaway. Now, the rules. Rule number 1, you must be subscribed to my channel. Number 2, you must like this video. This way your friends will find out about it, and hopefully we'll get more subscribers that way. And the requirement. I need you to post a video, label it with the hashtag Doug100story. You're going to be telling me a story. In this video, I want you to answer or describe 2 things. And this is something I think everybody will get a lot of value out of. Number 1, tell me how you found out how you found out lockpicking was a sport and or hobby. So how did you come to lockpicking in the first place and find out that there was a whole community? Number 2, what took you over the hump that brought you from lurker to hands-on picker? And you could talk briefly about both of these things. I'm just actually curious because I've got an interesting piece of that myself. So again, post a video, hashtag Doug100story, and in the video, describe 1, how you found out that lockpicking was a sport and hobby, and number 2, what took you over the hump from lurker to picker. All right, Those are the rules. Now here is my own entry. And here we are in my office. This is by day where I work as a programmer. And you'll see to the left of my desk I keep my picks and some locks that I've been working on so that I can basically break up the tedium during the day by grabbing a lock and giving a little practice. So, okay, I'll start by pointing out that that first of all, you guys do not need to appear on screen on video for telling your story. Most of you are probably just going to be picking a lock as you're doing it, or just showing your hands, and that's all good. So, first of all, as a kid, I was really fascinated by locks, and I hear that a lot from other pickers. When I was 12 or so, some friends and I used to make copies of keys by using files and clamping a couple of keys together. We were fascinated by that. We thought we were amazing to be able to do that. That was wonderful. But it wasn't until years later, actually, first of all, we had a storage locker that my wife had a master lock number 3 on and managed to misplace the key for that. And I started looking around for tips on lock picking at the time. Little did I know, because it was a master number 3, I probably could have just stared at it intimidatingly and it would have just popped right open. Or I guess I could have spit on it, same thing. Either way, we ended up finding the key and that sort of disappeared into the background. But years later, and this now takes us to about a year and a half ago, I found myself with more free time, and I decided to see if I could find a hobby, and I searched the web for, good ideas for hobbies. And there was one website that mentioned lockpicking, which immediately caught my attention. I then started looking around for information on lockpicking, and I found what was probably a survivalist site from what I could tell. And the guy had laid out how to get started in lockpicking, including essentially all of the locks along the early belts. He talked about where to get supplies, and he then gave a playlist for a series of videos by Skylar Town, which is a whole different discussion. But Skylar gave this incredible, in-depth, multi-video discussion of lockpicking from beginning to the very depths of it. And I binge watched that. And when I was done with it, I immediately said, I got to find out more. Well, what ended up happening was that YouTube saw that I was watching this and suggested Bosnian Bill. Started watching Bosnian Bill. That led me to the Lock Lab website, where I was able to actually find out where to purchase tools and stuff like that, picks and practice locks. I made the mistake, so I ordered a southward kit, and I made the mistake of ordering a clear practice lock, which, is not a horrible mistake, but I got my kit. I started working on that practice lock, and it popped open in my hands, and of course, I thought I was a god. Oh my God, I'm a natural at this. No better today, of course. But that was when I got that first rush of popping open a lock, and as you guys know, that's addicting at this point. After that, the question, so that's how I found out lockpicking was a sport or hobby. I was searching the web and found this website. So what took me over the hump was, as I said, binging the Skylar Town videos and then jumping to Bosnian Bill, which led me to Lock Lab and all the resources that I needed. So really, Lock Lab was that linchpin. And the final thing to mention, I picked for well over a year before I thought about the concept of a channel. I thought, everybody's doing channels. But I do have to say, a main factor was I entered the contest for the Al LaBelle Padlock a Week giveaway, and I was the very first winner. And I must say that's what really turned me into a producer, because once I got this lock, I wanted to make sure I picked and gutted it on video, and that was sort of the start of my channel. So that's the whole thing. You guys don't need to get that complicated. I just thought it'd be worth mentioning some of my background. I'm going to hold the contest open for 10 to 11 days, depending on when you see this. That means I'll be doing the drawing on November 26th. That would be Eastern U.S. time, date and time. Remember, number one, video telling how you found lockpicking was a sport or hobby, and number two, what took you over the hump from lurker to picker. And make sure to use the hashtag Doug100story so I can find your video. I'll be doing updates later to show who I've got actually entered into the contest, just to make sure that I found your video, and you can tell me if I didn't. All right, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. Those are both two critical things before submitting your entry. Thanks, everybody. Take care.